Hi and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a bridal inspired makeup tutorial. I'm actually getting married myself next June and I thought it might be quite fun to do a little bit of a trial on how I think I'm going to wear my makeup or something that would be suitable to wear. Anyway, I've put a white top on because I always feel like when you wear white it reflects exactly how it's going to look on the day unless you're not wearing a white dress, in which case wear whatever colour you're wearing, it helps. So I've already put some eye cream on. The key is to not change your skincare too close to the wedding day, so just keep everything the same. I personally recommend going and visiting a professional facialist. I go to one in Media City, she's amazing, Sam Marshall. If you live in Manchester, I'd definitely book in with her, she's incredible. But I really like the Lumiere products. So I've used that, I've used my vitamin C toner, and now I'm just going to put some sun cream on. It's really, really important that if you're having a wedding in summer that you've got sun cream on. Sun cream I'm going to use is a Lumiere Sheer Hydration Factor 40. I'm just going to apply this with my hands. There's a lot of talk about flashback with SPF, but personally I don't find that using an actual sun cream under your foundation gives you that. So personally I have extremely dry skin. I like my skin to look nice and glowy. I struggle when using powder because I find that my face goes too matte and it looks dry. So my little tip for this is to use a mattifying foundation primer and then use a glowy foundation, or you can do alternatives. So I'm going to be using the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. And again, just going to apply this with my fingers. You really need the tiniest bit of this. And you can definitely choose where you want to apply this. So I definitely want this mainly around my nose and my forehead. And definitely on my chin. And then whatever's left you can kind of spread out to the rest of your face. So because I like to be quite glowy, I've got a product here from Charlotte Tilbury. This is a Hollywood Flawless Filter. I have it in the shade number 4. So this product is great for giving a really nice glowy undertone. You can put it all over your face or you can just put it in specific places. So how I'm going to use it, I'm going to put it on the back of my hand. It's got a little doe foot applicator. And then I'm going to take, this is a Morphe JH04, and I'm just going to stipple this onto the tops of my cheekbones, anywhere that I really want the light to catch. So the prep with wedding makeup is the key. You really want to prep the skin underneath the foundation because that's what's going to make it last. So I'm going to let all this soak in and I'm going to start with my eyes. So you really need to make sure you're using something long lasting, a really long lasting eye primer. The one I love that I have in my kit is the MAC Prep and Prime 24-hour extended eye base. I find that because it doesn't have a colour, if you've got quite discoloured eyelids or if you've got quite veiny eyelids, using a paint pot from MAC might be a better option for you, but I find that this does not let anything crease. So I'm just going to apply this all the way up to the eyebrow. And then whatever is left on my fingertips, I'm just going to take underneath as well. And I'm just going to give that a couple of minutes to set, and whilst that's doing that, I'm just going to fill in my brows a tiny bit. You don't want to do too much because you'll probably need to touch up after you've done your foundation anyway. So I'm just going to use a little pencil. This is the Full Brow Skinny Brow in Natural Brown. And I just like to fill in any little gaps that I've got. You want to really make sure that you brush the product through. You don't want any harsh lines at all. I can see where your brow is going to be, but we'll probably just give it a nice little touch up after we've done foundation in case we knock anything off with the foundation. So for eyeshadow, you want to think about your colours. So I'm personally having blush as my theme. All my bridesmaids are going to be in blush. So I don't want to do anything that's going to be too warm in colour. So I'm going to take an eyeshadow from MAC. This is in the colour Saddle. So it's quite a warm shade, but it isn't too warm. You can't really see the red tones in it. And I'm going to take this on a big fluffy brush. This is one from my Kiko. This is a 1.15, my blending shadow large. And I'm going to focus this colour in the crease. And now just to deepen this, the tiniest bit, I don't want to go too dark, is ground brown from MAC. I'm just going to use a tiny bit of this. This is on a MAC 217 brush. And I'm really just going to focus this right into the crease. But you don't want to take too much. You need to also think about the time that you're getting married. So I'm going to get married quite late in the afternoon. So I can afford to go a little bit heavier with my makeup. If you're getting married first thing on a morning, you want to take it a little bit lighter. And depending on what time your photographs are at, you don't want to get washed out by if you've got the bright sun during the day. So I've really just got that into the socket. I'm going to go back with this original brush, no product, and just fluff this in. We don't want to be able to see any harshness at all. And for me, that is as dark as I would want to go. So I always love a bit of shimmer, but if you don't like shimmer, this would be the opportunity where you use a matte on the lid of the eye. I'm going to use a shimmer from this Tom Ford palette. This is the Eye Colour Quad in 01 Golden Mink. And I'm going to take this one here. It's a little bit more of a pinkier glitter. And I'm just going to use my finger for this. And I don't want loads of this, but I just want a little bit of shimmer. I'm just really dabbing this on. And I like this because it almost just looks like you've got like a wet eyelid. Because it's such a fine glitter, but you know it's not going to fall on your face all day. Really natural, but gives you that little bit of sparkle. So I'm not actually going to use an eyeliner. I'm going to take this colour that we put in the crease, this ground brown, on a little angled brush. This is a 266 brush, it's just a little angle. And I'm going to press this into the lash line. So it's not too harsh and it doesn't particularly look like eyeliner. Just want a bit of depth. So you can tell the difference. It just gives you the tiniest bit of definition without looking like it's too much. So for skin, I'm going to be using the Illamasqua Skin Base in 8.5. I think the shade should be okay for me. And I'm also going to mix a little bit of MAC Face and Body in there with it. Just going to use the brush that we used earlier to put the Flawless filter on, just to give it a nice little buff in. So you don't want to put loads of foundation on. You want to do it in really, really light layers. And you can always go in and spot conceal, but personally I find if you just put a thick foundation everywhere throughout the day, you can see it so clearly. Don't worry about being too careful around your eyebrows because we can come back to them. It's better than not having any foundation near your eyebrow. So that is my first layer of foundation. You can see that I need a little bit more coverage around here where I've got a couple of blemishes, a little bit more coverage on my nose, probably just both the cheeks and my nose, but my forehead and my chin are completely fine. I definitely don't need more coverage there. So I'm just going to go in with a second layer. So when you feel like that's a good amount of coverage, it's time to move on. I'm going to do a little bit of under eye colour correcting. I'm going to take, this is a MAC colour corrector. I'm going to take the pink side. And I'm just going to take the tiniest bit on this, just on the tip of my beauty blender. I'm just going to take it exactly where I'm dark. This is just before I put concealer on. Just to get rid of a little bit of that depth. You can see how it's instantly brightened that area. So that's just given me a nice little brightness. I'm going to put some concealer on now. The concealer I'm going to use is the Bond Glow Radiant Concealer. This is in the shade Light Ivory. I'm just going to dab some of this under the eyes. I'm going to just take a little bit here because you want everything to look nice and lifted. It depends on your face shape, but for me, everything being lifted up looks the best. And I'm just going to take this brush. This is my buffing concealer from my Kiko in 0.25. And I'm just going to buff this in. Can even take some into this inner corner up here. Really light hand, just fluffing it into the skin. You can always go over with this brush and just dab it in if you need to. Like that. So I'm going to give the face a really loose set. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Powder under eye and face. This stinks. Like, every time I use this on someone, I have to apologise for the smell because it smells so bad. But it is such a beautiful powder. I wish Charlotte would just work it out. So I've put a lid on my brush and dabbing it off. This is a Morphe JH02. And I'm just going to set my entire face. It is so hot today that this makeup would just melt off without powder. I don't personally like powder on my skin because I am dry. But this one's quite a nice one in the fact that it's not too dry. Some powders are extremely dry. If you're oily, I don't think it's the one for you. But and then for the under eyes, I'm just going to take this as another Morphe brush, just looks like this. Take a tiny bit of that. Get rid of the crease that's already happened, and I'm going to run this under my eye, literally where my crease is. Let's do some bronzer. So I'm going to use the same brush and I'm going to use my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in medium tan, and I'm just going to really lightly, I'm barely using any pressure, just dust this on the cheeks. And then some on the forehead, really getting into that hairline in case you've put a bit of fake tan on. You don't want to have a white hairline and a brown face. Now with a MAC 109 brush, it's like this, it's like domed. I'm going to take a bit of the Tarte bronzer in Park Avenue Princess, a little bit more cool toned, and I'm just going to pop this under my cheekbones really, really gently. You do not want a contour line on your wedding day. So, just going to kind of sketch out little circles. I'm holding my brush at the end because I do not want too much pressure. Just allowing yourself to have that bit of a shadow. And then go back with your big brush that you've used your bronzer and just gently soften everything. With blusher, you just want something that's dead flattering. You don't want it to look too much. You don't want it to be the standout focal point. This one's lovely. This is from MAC. It's in the colour Melba. I used to put this on everybody. It pretty much suits everybody with a light to medium complexion. So this is the Morphe JH06. It's one of my favourite blusher brushes because it's so fluffy, it doesn't give you too much pigment. And I personally, on my face shape, I've got quite a round square face, so I personally like to bring my little apples out and then I flick whatever's left up because I want everything to be lifted and lovely. And for highlight, I'm going to use an old school highlighter. I've not used this in ages, but I do love this on a bride. This is MAC Soft and Gentle. It's a mineralized skin finish. It's just beautiful. I'm going to use it on the same brush. The tiniest bit, you really don't need loads. I'm just going to do a lovely little dusting on the tops of my cheekbones. See, it's just gorgeous. If you're going to use setting spray, now is the perfect time to use it if you've not got a mascara on. Some setting sprays make me sneeze, so if at this moment I'd have mascara on, it would just ruin everything. I'm going to use the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. This is the one that I personally really like. Skindinavia also do some amazing setting sprays. It's just you've got to pay for the customs if it's coming from America. So just give the face a spray. And then don't move. Just let it dry. Don't do too much excessive blinking or moving your face. You just want to let it set. Ooh, now we go back to the eyes. So I've just touched up my brows the tiniest little bit. I'm now going back in with that ground brown? Yeah, that we used to deepen the crease and as a liner on the same little angled brush. I'm just going to press it into this lower lash line. I kind of just want it to make the hairs look thicker, if that makes sense, of the lower lash line. Really making sure we're not doing too thick a line. I think this press and wiggle motion's quite an easy one to do. I'm going to go all the way across to the centre, just like slightly past the centre. And then with the brush that we just put the loose powder on, I'm just going to smooth this under the eye. Don't want anything too smoky on your wedding day. Curl my lashes and apply some mascara. On my wedding day, I will be wearing waterproof mascara, whether it's for the heat or the fact I'm going to be sobbing all day. I personally don't have any waterproof mascara at the minute, so I'm just going to use my normal one, but on my wedding day, I will be wearing waterproof mascara. So I'm just going to curl my lashes. These are Shuma Uma. I can't say stuff right. Whatever that brand is called. I'm just going to curl my lashes and stick some mascara on. So I've curled my lashes and I've put some mascara on, and now this is the exciting bit. I'm going to pop some false lashes on. These are the Kiss ones. I really like these individuals because they are bundles of 3. I don't know if you can see. And I'm going to use Duo Lash Glue to apply these. What's handy, it's even got a little glue pocket for you to put your glue in. So I just used the latex free Duo, the green one. Pop some in there. Grab some tweezers just in case. So I'm going to start on the outer corner. I'm going to take some of the short ones because I actually think that might be a good length for me rather than going in with medium straight away. Have a little look what the short ones look like. I think that might actually be long enough. That is a short one. So I'm not going to put any on top of each other. I'm just going to sit them next to each other. Make sure you get in it as close to the lashes as possible, and don't worry about the glue because it dries clear. You can get black glue. If you do get black glue, you need to be so careful that you put it in the right place, because if you don't, you'll end up with a black glue dot on your eyelid. So far I've only used short. I'll let you know when I go to extra short. Yeah, the next one I'm going to use is extra short. So I've just got 3 of the extra short on this eye, and then the rest are short, and I think that is quite a nice balance. I might wait till that dries and see if I need to add any individual mediums on, but I think that looks quite nice and natural. So same on the other eye. And that is both sets of the individuals on. While that's drying, do some lips. So I've not fully decided on what colour lip I'm going to do. I feel like I want to do something glossy, but then you've got the high maintenance of a gloss. So what I am going to do, I'm going to use some of this MAC Prep and Prime lip primer. And you can take this slightly outside of your lip if you are going to overdraw a bit. And what that does is it just keeps everything hydrated underneath your lip. It helps it stay on that little bit longer. So the lip liner I'm going to line my lips with is the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude. So I'm going to line my lips and also fill in my lips. Having something underneath your lipstick is going to give it something else extra to stick to, and then when that wears off, it's another thing to wear off as well. And I'm going to use this Lisa Eldridge lipstick in Velvet Muse. I'm just going to kind of dab it on. Don't want to fully put it on. Yeah, I'm going to do a tiny gloss. This is the Kiko 3D Instant Volume in 217, and I'm literally going to put this in the centre. It's going to wipe all of the lip gloss like off the brush. Just do a little dab. And this is the finished look. So I really hope you enjoyed this, and if you're getting married, good luck. Let me know how you're wearing your makeup for your wedding day. And yeah, I'll see you all in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.